श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम् व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्। So we have seen up to verse number 40, that is called Atma Anatma Viveka, or you can say Jiva Swarupa Vichara. Then from 41 to 89, called Anatma Mithyatva. So Anatma Mithyatva means that whatever we experience, whatever we see, everything is anatma, and they are mithya. They are false. So to arrive at Vedanta takes this methodology called Adhyaropa Apavada. So this prakriya, this methodology is called Adhyaropa Apavada, because I have to take you to more in details. And these are the crucial subject of Vedanta, or else Vedanta will never be understood. So you will be attending classes, but nothing will happen. Then you can become a teacher, okay? Don't worry. So then you can teach people, you can do whatever you want. That's good. I remember Swami Tarananje. Very nice. So under whom Puja Swami studied Brahma Sutra. And he will say very nicely, good, good, course complete ho gaya. Means now course is completed. Now what to do? Go and open your shop. And because why he said one day, very nicely, I cannot forget that. So somebody came and handed over one book the person had written and handed over to him. So then he did not say anything. Okay, went. After that, he said this statement. This fellow attended a few Vedanta class. Now he started writing books. And okay, you write book, but don't come and give me, okay, at least. So go. Then he did not tell much. He said, look, now go and open your shop, okay? And keep all sort of confusion and spread the confusion. Anyway, it was nice. Coming back. So this Adhyaropa Apavada. So Adhyaropa means superimposition. Believing, accepting something which is not there. And Apavada means negating that. So the whole teaching of Advaita Vedanta is standing on this Adhyaropa Apavada methodology of teaching, number one. How? Let us look at, so that I'll be seeing few verses, just read it out. Like yesterday how we did it, little bit here and there is there. When we look at this Adhyaropa Apavada, we say Atma, Brahman, Ishvara forget now, okay? Now don't bring Ishvara here. So Atma or Brahman created this universe. Correct or not? Have you ever heard or not? So Ishvara, sometimes you say, common people, but Vedanti, Brahman, they will say Brahman created prapañca, Ishvara or anatma. So Atma created anatma, because now you are a PhD student, so I can talk this language, okay? Atma created anatma. So when we say Atma created Anatma, what does it mean? So we mean Atma being efficient cause of Anatma. Is it clear? Nimitta Karana, we mean it. Because remember, each sentence that is being told in Veda, it has meaning to be understood carefully. So Veda is not contradicted at all, cannot be contradicted. That's why that is called Shruti, scripture. That's why never translate, Shastra as scripture. Because Shastra is Shastra. Shastra cannot be translated as scripture. Because every religion has got scripture or not. For example, for Buddhism, there is a scripture. For Christianity, there is a scripture. For this Sikhism, there is a scripture. Of course, for Islam, there is a scripture. So you cannot say no. Then they will say, oh, so this for Hinduism, Veda is the scripture. Bhagavad Gita, please, God's sake, scripture, you have to make mention very carefully, Shastra. Why? Because a scripture or whatever you see other scriptures, it is subject to negation because there is a contradiction. That's why there is no New Testament, new amendments like Constitution. Whereas Shastra cannot be negated. This is the most important point. Because there is no contradiction. You cannot find a single contradiction in Shastra. So coming back, when we say that Atma created Anatma, so what does it mean? Atma is nimitta karanam of Anatma. Clear? Sometimes we say, hey, look, Atma become Anatma. So Atma has become Anatma. So when you say Atma has become Anatma, so what does it mean? Here Atma is Upadana Karanam of Anatma. Clear? Material cause. Where does he get material? So when you come across sentence that Atma creates Anatma, so that means it is Nimitta Karana. Atma becomes Anatma. It means it is Upadana Karanam. Clear? This is a very technical point. Please remember, because I should not, because make it very clear. Tomorrow you should not find any contradiction anywhere. Oh, sometimes it become, it sometimes it creates. What is happening? Then finally we say, another sentence statement comes. Atma never goes through change. Does not go through change. Cannot be changed. Now, don't you see the contradiction here? One line you say, Atma becomes Anatma. Now here you say, Atma does not go through any change, cannot go through any change. So don't you think that there is contradiction? Now to arrive at, yesterday I have given this point. Here absolutely there is no contradiction at all. That's why you need to have mind to understand. So yesterday we have discussed, again I'm bringing back the same topic. When we say Atma does not change, and moreover, what we called as Anatma, Anatma is mithya. How? Because there is only one thing exists that is called Atma. So when only one thing exists that is called Atma, how can the one thing go through any change? Impossible. Now, how to arrive at, how to understand that there is only one thing exists? And again, you said earlier, Atma, Anatma. There are two things. That's why the whole purpose of teaching is to arrive at Advaita, non-duality. Because Dvaite Bhayamasti, wherever there is duality, there has to be fear. And my whole purpose is to overcome fear. So after studying so much Vedanta, doing so many things, still there is fear. So what does it mean? So the purpose is lost. So there we say very carefully, Atma only one does not exist because there is nothing called Anatma. Then how is it possible? Look, I see this world. I see my body. Anatma means my body-mind complex, okay? Remember, this body also is Anatma. Mind also is Anatma because it has got borrowed consciousness. Borrowed Atma, you can say, okay? Hey, how can you say that? You know, there is no Anatma, only Atma. This is the point. Vedanta says, this is called, Adhyaropavāda. Look, we do not dismiss experiential reality. But only we look at the reality part and we dismiss that. So the experiential existence and reality. So when you say experiential existence, I'll give you a beautiful example. Sun rises. You experience, I experience. It has experiential existence or not? Sun rises and sun sets. It has experiential existence. But is it real? Come on. Does the sun rise? Does the sun sets? It's simple knowledge, okay? But Vedanta does not dismiss the experience part. Coming to the dream. I dream, you dream. Everybody dreams. So there was one fellow, very popular all over the world. So he said, look, if you don't dream, you are a wise person. And he claimed that he never dreamt, okay? But he made whole world to dream. That's another point. And I am not telling you jokes. Many people started saying, look, I am not dreaming anymore. Anyway, now, I dream, you dream. So there is experience. It has got experiential existence. And not only that, people also discuss a lot about dream. Dream analyzer is a big area of making money, okay? So dream analyzer. However, but in reality, does the dream exist? Come on. And if dream exists in reality, I'm sure we all will be in the jail. Sometime or other, you have murdered somebody, okay? And especially judge, they themselves have to be in the jail, okay? So thank God. Now, coming to the point, as this happens, we say this whole universe has experiential existence. My body has got experiential existence. My mind has experiential existence. But in reality, it does not exist. In fact, today's quote, you can relate a little bit. However, when we say that it exists in experience, in our experience, that means we don't have to give that much importance. It is experience, supposed to go through, let it go through. Number one. For this, we take the help of Rajju Sarpa, rope snake. And remember, this rope snake logic or example, logic Nyaya and also example, both are being taken by all sort of philosophies. It's not only taken by Vedantins. Dvaitins take, Nyayika take, Vaisheshika take, all group, all different type of these philosophers do take this same logic, same example. But they present little different. And here Vedanta very carefully handles. So what it says that, look, first I accept the superimposition. Why? Because if I don't accept, how can I dismiss? You understand? Without accepting, can you dismiss? Because in order to dismiss, you have to accept first. If you straight away dismiss, what happens? Like, no. So you, nowadays this is called psychological disorder, we say. You hate. You want to get rid. Hey, you cannot get rid. Because the more you try to get rid of, more you embrace or not. If not physically, mentally. Do you do that or not? You go crazy more. Whereas once you accept, psychologically I'm talking about it, hey, you yourself will be tired. It's like somebody said very nicely. There are many things also I can share with you. Suppose you are crazy for food, on any given food. Especially, you know, these children, Indian fast food, pani puri. Give the fellow 10 days pani puri. Continuously. Even if he is in the toilet, still you give the pani puri. Okay? He says, no, 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 no. Please, you should have. After continuous of pani puri for 10 days, with that fellow, crave for pani puri in whole life, chapter is closed. So anyway, here this accepting in order to reserve psychologically. Here accepting to understand that there is no anatma, only atma exists. Can you see these two levels? In psychology, we accept to resolve. And that resolving is called growing out of. Not getting rid of. Whereas in Vedanta, there is adhyaropa, the superimposition, then apovada, negation, because you understand there is no anatma, there is only atma exists. And more one abides with this is the whole nididhyasana process, the more you enjoy your existence. Then whatever happens is lila. Whereas is a play. Lila means a play. Whereas if you don't understand, whatever happens, it is painful. You are dancing in the tune of others. So with this background, I think we should go and see few verses, or else I'll be stopped. Because concept is very clear from verse number 41. ityātmandehabhāgena prapañcasyaiva satyatā yathoktā tarkaśāstreṇa tataḥ kim puruṣārthatā. So iti, thus ātma-dehabhāgena, by the discussion of the difference between this atma and the body, prapañcasyaiva satyatā. So that means this, the reality of this world, yatha, as the tarkaśāstra highlights or ukta is said, discussed, tataḥ, in the same way, tataḥ kim puruṣārthatā siddhyati iti. Then what is the purpose of human life? That means we cannot accept it at all. Because if we look at that, the purusha is different and prakriti is different. If we say atma is different, anatma is different. If there are two things exist, that means our purpose is not going to be solved. This is what all about Tarkasastra. We cannot accept it at all. That we have discussed in details yesterday, also today a little bit. Then he says, ityātmandehabhedena dehātmantvaṃ. So, ityātmandehabhedena dehātmantvaṃ nivāritam idānīṃ dehabhedasya hyasattvaṃ sphuṭamucyate. Says, look, ātma-dehabhedena. So again, as the discussion happens, the difference between this atma and this body. Now, he says, dehātmantvaṃ. The body is none other than atma. Now, what happens? Look, he says very clearly, if this is being, that the view of that the body is the atma, it is being denied, then what happens? Dehabhedasya hi asattvaṃ sphuṭamucyate. So that means you can see very carefully. That means what? Only if you don't see this way, that means atma exists and anatma exists, then both becomes what? Unreality. But what is the reality? Reality is only one thing exists. As you look at the scientist highlight matter only will exist, will exist. Because when the pralaya, especially as they say, if you look at other planets, in other planets there is no life, only Earth has life, as per the science, okay? So time will come. So this sun will be so hot, then slowly all life will be vanished from this earth. So that's why they are trying to migrate from life from this earth to some other earth, okay? This is the whole scientific research, migrating. So then they will say, if there is no life, then there will be only matter. So that's why they are searching lives in other planets, correct? This is the whole scientific research. So in short, consciousness becomes matter. In fact, we say, when a person sees that everything is matter, that person is materialistic. The definition of who is a materialistic person? The one who gives importance to the material in comparison to the life. So there is a family member, living being, But there is money, there is property, there is power, position, whatever. So the person gives importance to all these things, not to people, not to living beings. So you call that person as a materialistic person or not? So that means if you look at everybody except Vedantin, Advaitin, everybody is materialistic. That's why more you look into Vedanta, then more you become a realistic person. So I can use the word materialistic, not spiritually, okay? Don't use this word spiritual, spiritual only this, okay? So some people say, oh, Swamiji, I want to be spiritual. You don't allow us. You don't allow me. This, that, understand. Hey, what sort of spirituality you want? Please. So materialistic, realistic. Let us give this different name altogether. However, let us not drag too much because we are supposed to complete a few more verses. Then he says, look, but only one thing exists, that is called Atma, because Anatma does not exist at all. Then he says, let us look at next one. caitanyasyaikarūpatvādbhedo yukto na karhicit jīvatvaṃ ca mṛṣā jñeyaṃ rajjau sarpagraho yatha. So he says, look, how is it possible? He says, look, there is nothing impossible because caitanyasya ekarupatvad. So if you look at caitanyasya bhavaha, caitanyasya, that means this the consciousness. Now the consciousness has only one thing because there is a uniformity. Because that consciousness is what? Different from sajatiya, vijatiya, bheda, rahitaha. So that means sajatiya, vijatiya, sugata, bheda, rahitaha, iti caitanyam. Don't ask me too many things, okay? Then we'll talk some other time. What is sajatiya, what is vijatiya, and what is sugata? Or else I will not be able to complete the text. So when this is free from this, that's why it is called one. Now he says, look, now at any time, the division vedaha na yuktaha iti, it is not acceptable. I cannot admit, I cannot accept it. How? He gives the example, yatha rajau sarpagraha. So also, jīvatvaṃ ca mṛṣā jñeyaṃ. So he gives the example how the snake is available on a rope. Because if you look at, please understand, if snake is non-existent, is there any problem? There is no problem because snake just doesn't exist. So if it is completely asat, non-existent, like Buddhist, so there is no problem. That's why they don't have problem, but they carry only problem, okay? So there is no outside problem. Problem is in the mind. Suppose there is, if the snake really exists, also no problem. Because when you bring the torchlight and all these things, you come, you see there is a snake. And you need to handle it or kill whatever you do. Better handle it, okay? But the problem, what is here? Snake, there is nothing called snake, but there is experiential snake. In reality, there is no snake because in reality, what is there? Only rope. And because the rope exists, now I experience snake that I told because of my insecurity and projection. Because we have a beautiful saying, Do you know? If the child is dead or was dead because of snake bite, the mother seeing anything that looks like alike snake, any rope, the mother will go crazy and will start shouting, because deep within the mother remembers the death of the child. So it is my personal projection. It is my subconscious mind, if you want to use. It is my anatma. So anatma, taking borrowed consciousness, now says that a anatma is truth. Rajju is not there, but only snake shouts. Bring the light, bring the stick, let us change, let us do that. So all the drama is being created because of my projection. There we say, look, snake exists, not that it does not exist. If it does not exist, what was the need of me shouting? It is not me only shouted, including my child also started shouting along with me. My friends also started shouting along with me. It existed in experience level, but not in reality. When the torch was brought, means when light was being thrown, then we discovered it is not a snake, but it is a rope. So that this jīvatvaṃ, this me as anatma, when there is no proper light, I am a samsari. So who is a samsari? Who considers that I am eternally traveling. So eternally traveler, okay? So you keep traveling in this world. That's why Puja Swamiji used to say, when anybody says that, Swamiji, I want to go for this pilgrimage, that pilgrimage, then you'll say, oh, Shani Dasha has started. Go. Complete your Shani Dasha. Because unless Shani Dasha starts, you will not go around unnecessarily, okay? However, and some people have permanent chakra, okay? So we have to see their feet, okay? So permanently they keep traveling. That's another level, okay? However, so, and there are people, they also believe that after death to travel. That's why the philosophers came, say, look, you rest in peace. Enough of traveling. So permanently you can rest. However, so here he says, look, this traveling me eternally as a jiva signifies that I am a samsari. Now, in reality, I am not. I am eternal consciousness, which doesn't travel, need not travel. So the more I have this knowledge, so how this more I have this knowledge? Because I'm using very carefully. The more I have this knowledge, because please understand, there are three obstacles. What is that? Mala, avarana, and vikshepa. First is what? Avaranam. So avaranam, first we bring that as called malam. Malam means impurity. So when this impurity is to be taken care by karma yoga, not using everybody for one's own benefit. It doesn't work. Oh, okay, first me. So what is that me? Oh, Swamiji, I am working for my family. I am working for the society. I am working for the community. This is a new word, okay? I am working for the community. What is that community? As long as you are in the position in the community or you are accepted, that time, that long community. If you are not accepted, let community go to hell. I have seen people, okay? So created a community, destroyed community, okay? I have a lot of experience in this regard now. However, so let me not get into too details. However, here is being said that first is karma yoga to take care of your impurity. What is karma yoga? basic thing. Doing to be done, what is to be done, without dwelling upon the result of action. Without prioritizing the result of action, but to do what are the things to be done. And when the result comes, accept gracefully. That is called prasada buddhi. So that means I give importance to do what is to be done, not I do what I want to do. I don't do what I don't want to do. So that takes care of malam, impurity. So what is avarana? Avarana is covering. So the avarana is taken care by Shruti Vakya. The teaching, the teacher speaks that you are Brahman, you are Atma, there is nothing on Atma. So that takes care of avarana. That's why Shraddha for the teacher. Not, trying to compare, compete, judge. Maybe he or she is better in this area, that area I don't think so. I am better. Good. Avaram will never go. It doesn't work. And most important thing is, this is the point called a vikshepa. So what is a vikshepa? Projection. So you have a lot of disturbances, agitation. Because of what? Because of your habitual thinking, because of habitual error. Because the samskara that you carry is forward not from this life, previous lives too. Unsettled experiences, unaddressed experiences. That is there in your mind. That what you call in psychology subconscious mind. So that is to be taken care by what? By upasana. Only by upasana. That's why upasana to be done, to be guided by the teacher. Because if upasana is not guided by the teacher, remember, asuras also do upasana. In fact, they do better upasana than anyone. You understand? They make helpless all the god to come down, devil to come down. Finally, they become devil. Okay? So the upasana takes care of vikshepa. And when upasana takes care of vikshepa, that's why the nitidhyasanam becomes part of it. And nitidhyasanam makes you to understand more and more, because malam is gone, avaranam teaching is continuing, and vikshepa comes down, then knowledge is with you. That's why whole teaching is nothing but dwelling upon that I am Atma, and Anatma exists in experience level, not in reality. That's why I don't dismiss anything. I see the presence of a rose as rose. When it blooms, I don't deny. When it fades away, I also don't get upset. Oh, it is fading away. That is its dharma. Let it fade away. That's why we say, agate swagatam kurya, gachantam na nivarayat. So whatever comes, welcome. Whatever goes, allow it. More of it. Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you. And tomorrow we have